Hey guys, it's Silvana Kozak here from Purpose Driven Tribe, and I'm super excited for today's interview, for today's conversation, for today's exciting story from Adam Rubin, who is a co-founder and executive director of Renew. Hi Adam.
Hey Silvana, how are you doing?
I'm doing great and I'm so happy that you're here.
Thanks for
Because
having me.
I know you're about to share some incredible stuff with our tribe. So before we begin, I would like to tell you guys a little bit about Adam and Uswege, who is his partner, who is his business partner, who is his partner in the journey of serving others and making this world a better place. So Renew is a nonprofit organization that brings personal development to children around the world. And it's helping them to become a better version of themselves and also to gain skills which they can't gain from the school, to become more confident and to become a better person in a daily life, so they can actually get stronger emotionally and also become more aware. Now, since founding Renew in Tanzania in 2013, Renew reached over 1,500 students throughout the whole country. And after launching it in States in 2016, the program has already reached over 100 children. And you guys are just starting, right?
We're just getting started, Silvana.
Yeah, this is just the very, very beginning. But the reason why I invited Adam to this conversation, because it's very inspiring how you guys making change in children's life. And also I was privileged to see how fast you were able to progress. But I would like to go to the very beginning of your journey, okay? So let's start from, when did it all start?
Yeah, it's a beautiful story to retell. So actually, Sweg and I met back in 2010, and that's sort of where the journey began. I was a volunteer out in Tanzania for a few months back in 2009. Doing a public health program, actually around HIV and AIDS, so a lot of education work. And I was asked to come back in 2010 to coordinate that program. And when I came back, without knowing Uswege, we were just serendipitously partnered together. So that was the universe reaching its hand in for the first time and really stirring things up, trying to get us on alignment with each other. And I meet Uswege. We find out that first off, we found out we share a lot of things together, a lot of philosophy, and we're spending time in the village working together, a lot of time to talk. And through talking, we find out first that we share the same birthday. We're both born on July 1st, so we have this, right away we get this universe nudge. We must be kind of brothers on the other side of the earth that didn't know each other.
Wow, I didn't know that actually.
I know, a lot of people don't realize that we're born on the same day. So kind of soul brothers, born by different mothers, but for the same purpose is what we say. And through talking to each other, we also find out that, gosh, you're these two people who look like they have two completely different stories. But one day Uswege asks me as we're walking down the road, I know that you're here to teach people, but why are you really here? Like, what's your why? What really brought you into this HIV/AIDS program? And at the time, this really wasn't something that I talked about with people. I had my own personal reasons, my own push and my own pull for being there. And I told him, one of the most painful but also powerful moments of my life was back in 1999. My uncle passed away from AIDS, and that was my mom's baby brother. So not only at the time was it losing a family member, but it was seeing this deep pain and this hole that was created in the family that I felt like I couldn't fill. And this was me in whatever way that I could, trying to do something about it. And as I said that to Uswege back in 2010, as we're walking down the road, he gets kind of quiet and he looks back at me and he says, I also lost my uncle to AIDS, and it's also my mom's brother. So we have this very deep, powerful connection, and something that really can't be explained by coincidence, but that was the first thing that let us really see that we were meant to do something together, but at that point we didn't know what it was. So we continued working together. I ended up canceling all my plane tickets home that year and staying in Tanzania for a year through all of 2011. And again, being kind of called to do something else, but not really knowing what it was yet. But I felt like I couldn't leave. And in that time, I started running an after-school program. And Swiggy was helping me a lot with that. And in this after-school program, we saw a lot of traditional education going on in the schools. We were seeing a lot of what teachers were doing. But the focus of this after-school program I created was all about life skills. It was all about goals and dreams, communication skills, and empathy and emotional intelligence, and and goals and dreams, and just scratching the surface of like life skills. But what we saw was it was so powerful and so needed, and the kids were so excited about it. And so what I asked myself was, why are we not teaching this to kids? And that was what happened that really sparked these ideas in motion. But both of us started asking ourselves, how different would our lives have been if we would have gotten these skills when we were kids? How different would our stories have been? What if we had an opportunity to jump into our life at a critical time when we were kids like them and rewrite these stories we were creating about ourselves, these limiting beliefs that we're setting in with our lives? And it was at such an interesting part of my life, because this is right when I was jumping into personal development and personal growth and starting to attend seminars and go through courses and read books and watch videos. And as you know, and as anybody who knows who gets so deep into this stuff, it's life-changing. It's really life-changing. And it sets you on a new course. And for me, it was a culmination of working with these kids and going through my own journey and then saying to myself, what if we made that experience possible for kids everywhere? What if education is not meant to help them learn about facts? What if education is meant them to help learn about themselves and who they are?
So I want to stop for a second here, because there are two things which I would like to go back to. The first thing is I want to go back before you actually flew to Tanzania. And what made you to make that decision, apart from obviously the story about your uncle?
Sure.
And what was the process of that? What was happening internally within you during that time? And was it easy to actually get yourself there? Were you able to afford everything? Was it like someone was helping you? Did you know how everything will look like? What was the experience of that?
Yeah, it was, so this is back, the first time is back in 2009. I was actually a junior in college during my undergraduate. I was studying political science, and I got, the story is that I got an email when I was at the University of Arizona, come to this information session and learn about this program in Tanzania about HIV/AIDS. And it immediately caught me because of the story of my uncle and the connection to the disease. But at the same time, and you'll hear a lot of people say this, I always felt called like to do something in a part of Africa. And in fact, I had applied to a lot of programs before that. And for whatever reason, I wasn't meant to be a part of those programs. This was the one I was meant to be a part of. And
so you applied to many programs within that period of time? Or
yeah, within that same period of time, even from the time I was a freshman in college to a sophomore, and this is the time I was a junior. And it wasn't incredibly difficult financially. It wasn't possible without other people's generosity, so I had to do a lot of fundraising to get there. But it really touches into this, I think, this conversation around purpose-driven. There was always, like so many young people my age, and I think so many people out there, there was always this feeling that our lives are about something bigger than just ourselves. And even at that age, I think I felt, although I didn't understand, I felt that I wasn't really going to use my degree the way that society expected me to. Right? You have a lot of these people who, and I bet a lot of people will resonate with this. There's a lot of these people, especially in science, there's not a lot of paths. It's either become a teacher and a professor. A lot of people become lawyers who do political science in the U.S., and then you go to law school after your poli-sci degree. And that's pretty much it. You know, there's not a whole lot you can do with it. There's not, or you become a politician, obviously. My work was always, what I thought my work was going to be was international development, and I was specifically in Africa. So I really focused on development work in Africa. And from a young age, I always wanted to help kids. So I dreamed of like being the president of UNICEF. That was always what my dream was. What I didn't know is that I would hate all of the bureaucracy around all of that work without even getting an experience in it.